folks. Forgive me, I never play the mandolin, but it's pretty fun. This is a repair project for Chris from the D-Mill. It's a family instrument. I think he said it was a grandmother's instrument, but if this was his grandmother's instrument, it would have been even old when she owned it. This is called a Bowlback mandolin. It's uncommon to see these sort of things today out on the streets, but in the mid to late 1800s, into the early 1900s, this was what a mandolin looked like. Mandolin orchestras and mandolins were really popular in America at that time, and this is based off of an Italian design. Before that, this kind of bowlback instrument with these staves, that comes from lutes, which is a bigger instrument, which is before that comes from the oud, an instrument from the Middle East. Yeah, this one I believe is Brazilian rosewood staves. It's very beautiful. The label inside says Gibbs, and Gibbs, from what I can find, is like a retailer in Chicago. It's not a manufacturer. So back in the day, a lot of instruments had labels in it that wasn't who made it, but who was selling it or retailing it or distributing it. And sometimes these companies, they also did like sheet music and recordings, and sold pianos and sold records, and sold instruments and sold lessons, and kind of like a department store for music. And even Lyon and Healy did the same sort of thing. So I believe this is it says Gibbs on the label, which I think is like the Chicago Musical Company, something like that. And then that got bought by Lewis, and then that got bought by another corporation, etc. Anyway, a lot of these are from like the 1880s, 1890s. This one might be a little bit later for a couple reasons. Number one, it's got some nice celluloid plastic on it. Well, that is more common the later you get. And then also, I recognize this purfling from other Chicago instruments from like the 20s and 30s. So, were they still making bowlback mandolins in the 20s? I don't really think so, but I think this does put it later on the bowlback mandolin scale. Just my guess. So beautiful Brazilian rosewood back here. And this is either mahogany or Spanish cedar, a nice neck. The tuners are machined and inlaid into the headstock. So if you have problems with them, you're kind of stuck trying to repair them or make them work. You can't really just swap them out very well. Beautiful inlaid headstock with some mother of pearl, I believe. Simple fretboard that's ebony but very cracked and messed up. I had to wick a lot of glue into this fretboard. It's not beautiful, but it is holding up. And then this is also celluloid plastic with inlay in it, and then all of it's inlaid into the spruce top. Pretty cool. And you can see that multicolored purfling there. Celluloid binding. So we had to put a new end pin, a new tailpiece, new strings, made a new little bridge. Worked on the tuners, worked on the fretboard, and then I had to glue up some cracks in the back, and I used hot hide glue and tape just to hold it all together, and it's been working great. So, yeah. And Chris, when he brought it over, was like, I'm not sure it's going to work, but nobody in my family who's alive has heard it make music, so let's put it together. And it was really fun to work on. I learned a little bit. And it actually is a nice sounding instrument. I'm enjoying playing it. I don't play much mandolin. Pretty cool. It's very lightweight. It's nice. I hope it holds up. The only thing I might have to adjust, you can see the spruce top has this bend in it. I've got the bridge sitting on there right now. There's a little bit of dome to the top this way, and so the bridge doesn't fully sit 100% on this because it's got a flat bottom. But string tension might, over the next day or two, might sink it in a little bit more. If not, I'm going to have to take it off and then reshape the bottom of the bridge to fit exactly. Like I can't get a pick under the edge, but I can get a piece of paper under there. So I might need to adjust that. Cool. Have a good one.